We're hanging out today at Creed with Mammoth and Finger 11 in Montreal, Canada, with our buddy Jon from Mammoth.
What is going on?
So, not much, man. I love Paul Reed Smith guitars. I have more than half a dozen of them, and I love the platinum ones. You and I were talking about the one that I'm getting rid of one because I have too many right now. But you're the only guy I've seen that almost exclusively uses platinum colored PRS.
Yeah.
And I've never seen this. So tell us about this guitar.
So yeah, this is a it's a platinum PRS. It's a 22 fret, and it's custom. It's got no neck pickup, obviously, and I took the volume knob and moved it to the tone position, and basically deleted everything that wasn't necessary. I never touch my tone knob.
Yeah.
You know, I want that thing on blast all the time. You know, I'll be in the middle of a song and go down a rabbit hole in my head in fear that my knob is like moved to like 9 or 8, you know, I'm like not cranking it. So just got rid of it. Just a volume knob, single pickup. And I also feel like when you take all that circuitry out of a guitar, and it's like a straight shot to the output of the guitar, you know, it's just hotter. It's like a livelier kind of thing.
Yep.
As well as like not having a pickup here. And it's strange, like I've got this guy, which is essentially the same guitar, right?
I can hold this one.
Yeah. But because I have this pickup here, it's basically the magnet's pulling on the strings.
Okay.
So you get this kind of, it's just a different feeling. I don't know if the strings are, it feels looser, you know?
Interesting.
But I just really love it. And I mean, I still love this guitar because it's got this weight and heft to it. But as you said a moment ago, you know, you pick this one up.
Yeah. This feels like a Telecaster to me. Like
weight-wise.
Like a Pine Telecaster.
Yeah.
Like it's light.
Yeah, I mean, and it's a trip, man, because I go between the two in the set. This one's in standard, or a half step down standard.
Yep.
And I put this one on, and then I put the other one on, and it's like I sink down a couple of inches before I kind of adjust, you know. But man.
I like heavy things though too. One of my buddies has a saying that I always steal, and it's that heavy things sound heavy.
Yeah.
So like heavy Les Pauls always sound like beefier, and just kind of chunkier to me.
I feel like they're really great in the studio. I love like, you know, the thick-bodied guitars in the studio because I just feel like you feel like the weight of the guitar, and you feel like when your chords hit, it resonates more. And it could be just like a psychological thing, you know?
Yeah.
Because I know I love the way ash feels and like how light sometimes ash can be.
Yeah.
And that's sometimes I feel that resonates more. So it's like I'm just playing both sides of the fence, you know?
Yeah, I've never really come to terms with the idea of like tone woods and like what really matters and what doesn't, because I find that for me, I have a guitar that's all acrylic.
Okay.
And like it, by all accounts, it should sound like shit.
Right.
And it's got the Gibson Dirty Fingers pickup in the bridge. Guitar sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, it shouldn't have much sustain. It should sound terrible. It sounds great. Has tons of sustain. So I'm not saying that tone wood is a myth. I'm saying that every time
Calm down.
Yeah, exactly. Tell me all the ways I'm wrong, it's fine. I just find that like I've proven or disproven so many rules that guitar players have for myself enough times that I've just decided that like if it feels good and it sounds good, it is good. That's it,
man.
Yeah.
Because if an instrument sounds good acoustically and it doesn't sound good through an amplifier, that's a quick way for me to know like, okay, it's not the guitar.
Right.
Because if there's something that's happening internally in the guitar, whether it be a pickup or you know, whatever on the way on the output, it's like I can change that. You can change a pickup. You can change, just the other day actually, we changed the tone knob in this guy.
Yep.
Because we're side stage for, before we go on, and I had it all the way down, and I'm, you know, doing some chucks with the volume down, and it was kind of coming through, so there was an issue with the pot. And I immediately, it's like, okay, cool. Make one change, and it's 100% again. It's like those internal gut parts, like, those are gonna wear out, just like capacitors in an amplifier.
Yes.
You know, it's like, don't get too like stuck on it. Things are gonna change. But if the husk of the, you know, the core of it's good, everything after this is just, you know, it's fine tuning. It's like seasoning almost, like your amplifier, your pedals, all those sort of things.
Yeah, and to me, it all just comes down to like what feels and sounds the best to you, because what feels and sounds the best to you won't feel the best and sound the best to me necessarily. Like, I'm a huge fan of 50 watt Marshalls. So I've got a bunch of like 70s and 80s 50 watt Marshalls, and I have a few 100 watts. And all of my friends rave about 100 watt Marshalls. I'll take every 50 watt I have over every 100 watt I have every day of the week.
Oh, dude, yes. I get it, man, because, and it's a flavor thing. It's like you're pushing it in a different way. You're getting to just pin it. And like, even in Mammoth, like we were talking a moment ago about the 100 versus the 50 watt thing. In Mammoth, we use the 50 watt 5153s, and I love them. And I would love to have a 100 watt 5153 at home, just because I want one of everything there is, you know?
Yes.
And every amp.
Yes.
Because we all love it, you know?
That.
But when you get to the physical or the audible difference, it's like, to me, the 100 watts do have more headroom. They do have a different type of low end. It's not a volume thing I'm worried about, you know?
Right.
But at the same time, it's like with these 50 watts, it's like I get everything I need, you know? And they're smaller. They travel great, you know?
Yeah.
These have like we were talking about, they have a MIDI option on the switching, which is great for my rig, because I lean heavily on pedals, you know, in a lot of ways, just to kind of change the tones throughout the set. Segueing into one of the recent pedals I've been really just loving in front of the 5150 EL34 is the tilt.
Yeah.
The one that was initially, it was the Stubbs.
Yeah, the boost.
Yeah, it was the boost side of the boost.
The tilt overdrive.
Yeah. And when you came out with it, I remember talking to you, I was like, dude, you got to just put this in one box. I was like, the tilt is the shit, dude. And I was like, I love the overdrive, but it was just like, you know how it is when you got big pedals on your board, it's like you're eating real estate.
Yeah.
So I still love it for home, but it's like on tour when I have to fit a phaser and a delay or tuners and all this utility shit, you know, it's like that tilt is perfect, because it's just like, it kind of goes back to the discussion we were having, you know, a while ago about my preference for analog over digital sometimes isn't even the sound, it's just the dedicating a knob to a feature.
Yeah.
You know, and the tilt having that, I don't know what I guess it's the tilt.
Yeah,
you know,
the EQ.
The low end goes down, the treble goes up, or vice versa. And to me, that's such a real world usage of an EQ, because it's like, I don't want to sit there and mess with the graphic EQ when I have 5 minutes to sound check. Like just today, we had finally, we really had a nice sound check, you know, and we were able to dial some stuff in and everything, and it was cool. I got to sit there and play with it. But let's say we're like throw and go, and we got 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I hear my rig and there's something missing. It's the first thing I go for is that tilt, you know, because it's got that one knob, I crank it, and I get what I want. And if I don't get what I need from there, I realize, okay, let's look down the chain a little bit and see what else is going on. But because of that, it's like, you know, you've got all these things on the floor with your pedals and stuff. The 50 watt gives me everything I need outside of that.
Yeah.
You know? And it's just like, it's easier to travel with because they're a little smaller. They're still heavy as hell, you know, as you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you still have to have decent size iron and decent size transformers. It doesn't matter if it's 50 watts.
Yeah.
Like, to me, the difference between 50 watt and 100 watt heads most of the time is I find that there is just a squish to 50 watts that I'm more comfortable playing. So like they just don't feel quite as stiff.
Mm-hmm.
And I get intimidated easily, especially if I'm ever playing on an actual stage, that as soon as, like when I run an in-ear mix, my guitars are always pulled back.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to hear myself super loud, because then I let up because I'm like, oh shit, I'm too loud, right? And pushing 100 watt heads, I feel the same way. Because in order to get them to saturate the way that I want them to, I either have to do a lot of pedals in front to get it to saturate, or I got to crank it. So then I end up with this thing where it's just my own self-consciousness around it, right? But it's still a real thing that I plug into a 50 watt and never have that.
Yeah, because you're getting that breakup, you're hitting those tubes in that preamp section, and you're, you know, even if you don't have a master volume, you're that point where you hit it is a lot sooner. But that's why, you know, on a 100 watt amp, a master volume is so necessary for what I like to do.
Yeah.
Unless it's something like super pedal driven. And that's a whole other amp world. That's like the high watt, you know, you're into like headroom and clean headroom, so it can really take a pedal, which is fun. And that's kind of like the other testament to why analog is always superior, you know, is because you get this ability to learn about how circuits react, how impedance reacts, you know, like you get a different character in everything that you plug in. It's like, that's what's fun about when I found the tilt pedal. It was because I had gone through a few boost pedals up until that point. And it was, some of them were cool. They did what I liked, but it was like I didn't get everything I wanted out of it. And be able to have a variable knob where you get like a spread of options.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like across the board, you know, that's what I'm after. As much as I probably don't have many options with this, I was like,
it's interesting that you like the knobs and the options on your end, but I actually agree 100%. Like, tone controls on all of my guitars are all useless.
Yeah.
I still don't know if I would get rid of them because aesthetically, I don't know. I mean, I think this looks good, but like a Strat, whenever I see a one knob Strat, I'm always like, no.
Yeah,
But my Schecter has 2 knobs, not 3, and that looks awesome. So,
no, yeah, totally. And to me, it was like, if I'm in the studio, I love these because of the straight shot, and it's like, it feels hotter. It feels like it drives the front end a little hotter. But this was strictly like a design of like, I kept hitting my volume knob.
Yeah.
And I kept screwing those things up, and I was like, why do I even have it? Like, let's just get rid of it, you know? And you go through the phase of like taping it down, but then you got like adhesive on your stuff, and it's like, it's just all this extracurricular stuff that if you can get rid of it, get rid of it. It's a tool at the end of the day, you know? Yeah. So like if this thing snaps into 2, it would suck, but the reason it's out here is because it's a tool, and I want to use it, you know? Yeah. So I've got another one that's like this in gunmetal, which I really love. I just took that out. I was filling in with the guys in Seven Dust a couple weeks or a month ago, and I got to break that one in, and it's my second one. So now I'm just like slowly like phasing out the neck pickup guitars, you know? Yeah. So we'll see, but definitely more to come for sure.
Well, dude, thanks for showing us that and chatting gear with us.
Yeah, man. Anytime, dude. It's always good to be here.